Hola, hola, clase. Today we're talking about reflexive verbs and reflexive pronouns. All right, here's what a reflexive verb is, chicos y chicas. It's when the speaker does the action and receives the action. Okay, so here's a good one. Oftentimes, a lot of these have to do with daily care, because like when you brush your teeth, you're doing the brushing and you're receiving the action of the brushing. When you wash your hair, you're doing the washing and you're receiving the washing because it's your hair, it's part of you. In English, we have reflexive pronouns. Myself, yourself, his self, herself, ourselves, y'all's self, their selves, themselves, something like that. They're not as common in English as they are in Spanish. We do have a few, like I need you to behave yourself. Yourself would be the reflexive pronoun for behave. I mean, these are not easy examples in English to think of, honestly, but they are very common. We just don't use the pronouns like they do in Spanish all the time. But the big key thing is remember when the subject does the action and receives the action, it's a reflexive verb with the reflexive pronoun necessary. When you see the word in Spanish, you'll see the words in Spanish listed with the word se at the end. So that's why down here, the verbs ducharse, bañarse, maquillarse, peinarse, and vestirse are reflexive verbs. So if you take the se off, duchar, regular AR verb. But the se means, duchar means to shower, so you're showering yourself. To shower oneself is how that kind of gets translated. Bañarse, to bathe oneself, or to take a bath. But take off the se and it becomes just to bathe, and you're going to bathe something else. Like, these have two meanings, guys. Okay, this is going to get a little complicated real quick. So bañarse means to bathe yourself. Me baño, I take a bath. But if yo baño a mi perro, I bathe my dog, that doesn't use a reflexive pronoun because I'm not doing the action to me, I'm doing the action to my dog. Does that make sense? All right, let's take a look at some reflexive pronouns and practice how to use them. So the reflexive pronoun that goes with yo is me, myself. For tú, it's te, yourself. For usted, él and ella, it's se, for yourself, for usted, formally, himself, himself, and herself for ella, se. Ourselves would be nos, y'all's selves would be os or se, if it goes with ustedes, and themselves would be se with ellos and ellas. Okay, so the reflexive pronoun only has to deal with this red word in front. The ending on the verb follows the patterns we've learned before of regular AR, ER, and IR verbs, or the irregular ones if it's an irregular one. You with me so far? So here's how it's going to work. Step one, when you have a reflexive verb. Step one, you take off the se at the end. Step two, you change the se to one of these red words. It could stay se with usted, él, ella, and ustedes, ellos, ellas. The reflexive pronoun should go in front of the conjugated verb, just in front. And then take off the AR, ER, IR ending and put the correct ending at the end of the verb. So you have to conjugate both the reflexive pronoun se, or put it in the right form, and then conjugate the ending on the verb. Two pieces here. So take a look at the example. Lavarse, to wash oneself. If Juan is doing it to himself, Juan se lava. Juan himself washes. Lavar means to wash. So it doesn't really translate great, because we would say Juan washes himself with a se at the end in English, but it's in front. It's right in front of the verb. Note if there's a word no in the sentence, it's going to be Juan no se lava. Juan doesn't wash himself. If I'm doing it to me, it's yo me lavo. Me goes with myself. Lavo ends in O for I do the action. If I don't, it's yo no me lavo. Just like we learned before, the subject pronouns are optional. The word yo is not necessary. Me lavo is fine. No me lavo is also correct. Okay, here's one more piece. We'll learn more. We'll do this more next year in second year Spanish. But so you can also attach the pronouns at the end of an infinitive. This only happens when you have two verbs back to back. So quiero, I want, and lavar, to wash. Let's say I want to wash myself because I'm getting out of the gym. It's all gross. I'm sweaty. So I want to wash. I want to wash. Quiero lavar me. Notice that the me attaches at the end of the lavar. It becomes one word squished together. I can always put the me in front. Me quiero lavar. I want to wash. Quiero lavarme, me quiero lavar are both correct in Spanish. You can attach it to the end of the infinitive or always put it in front of the conjugated verb. Note you can only attach it at the end when you have two verbs together. When you only have one verb, it has to go in front or it's not going to sound right. Let's see. Let's take a look at a few of these words. So, as it says here, many verbs are related to habits or reflexive verbs, or doing self care, like despertarse to wake up, levantarse to get up, acostarse to go to bed, dormirse to fall asleep. And up here, the ones we did just a second ago: ducharse to take a shower, bañarse to take a bath, maquillarse to put on makeup, peinarse to comb your hair or to comb yourself, and vestirse to get dressed. You guys with me? Does that make sense? All right, chicos y chicas, hasta luego.